Hi Virgo, how's it going? I hope you're doing wonderful today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross spread for you today. This is, I've already cleared the energy of the cards, and I've asked Spirit 10 questions, and these are the 10 cards that came out for you. So I'll go through them individually. It's a general reading, so just take what resonates. And always check your sun, moon, rising signs for some more information there too, okay? So your first card, I asked Spirit, um, your first card is the Seven of Cups reversed. And I asked Spirit, this card represents your current situation, okay? So this card is suggesting that the energy is shifting from confusion to clarity. So what Spirit is saying here, the message on the card is I trust myself to see the truth. Maybe you're struggling with that a little bit because it came out reversed, but Spirit is saying that you're no longer lost in endless possibilities or illusions. After a period of uncertainty, you're beginning to see things for what they really are. You're narrowing your focus, making clear decisions, and letting go of distractions, unrealistic expectations, or choices that no longer align with your goals. This is a time of discernment. Instead of asking, what if, you're asking what truly matters. So trust your intuition and your practical nature, because you already know the direction you need to take. Okay? So with this card represents having mental clarity after confusion, or some of you are making a firm decision, or you're letting go of unrealistic options. You're focusing on what is achievable. You're seeing the truth in a situation. You're choosing quality over quantity. And this card also aligns well with your natural strengths: analysis, organization, and practicality. You're moving out of indecision and into a phase where you can make grounded, intentional choices. And then the second card that came out for you, Virgo, is the Six of Swords. I know that peaceful times will come, is the message on the card. So this card represents what's crossing you or challenging you. And this suggests that your greatest challenge is moving forward, even though you know it's necessary. So what's challenging you right now is leaving the past behind. You know a new chapter is calling, but part of you is still emotionally attached to what was, whether that's a relationship, a job, an old version of yourself, or a painful experience. But healing requires crossing unfamiliar waters, and that can feel uncomfortable, even when it's the right path. The challenge isn't whether change is coming, it's whether you'll trust yourself enough to let go and move toward peace. So your first card, the Seven of Cups reversed, is saying, I know what I need to do. But And this card, the Six of Swords, is saying, but it's hard to leave the familiar behind. Together, they tell a story of clarity, followed by resistance. You've likely reached a point where the confusion is lifted, but the emotional work of releasing the past and embracing change is the real obstacle. So the guide, sorry, I have my door open because it's hot. The guidance is to trust that moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means allowing yourself to grow beyond it. Okay? Then your third card, you got a major arcana card, the Magician. I manifest perfectly what I desire is a message on the card. So this card represents the basis of your situation or foundation. And this suggests that beneath everything you're experiencing, there is untapped personal power and the ability to create change. The root of your situation isn't a lack of resources. It's learning to recognize and use what you already have. So, at the heart of your situation is the reminder that you are more capable than you realize. The Magician says you already possess the skills, wisdom, and opportunities needed to create the life you want. This card appears when your foundation is built on potential, initiative, and personal power. However, you may have forgotten how powerful you truly are, or you've been waiting for something outside of yourself to change first. But the truth is, your next chapter begins the moment you believe in your ability to shape it. Okay? Current situation, the confusion is clearing and you're beginning to see the right path. But the difficult part is letting go of the past and trusting the transition. But deep down, you already have everything needed to move forward. Your greatest strength is your own ability to take action and create change. You aren't lacking answers or ability. You're being called to trust yourself. The clarity is already here. The next step is known. And the real work is believing you have the power to leave the old behind and consciously create what's next. Your fourth card represents your past but is relevant to your current situation, and you got the Judgment card reversed. I look back with compassion for myself is the message on the card. So, your current situation is rooted in a period where you struggled to fully accept a lesson or release the past or answer an important inner calling. You may have held on to self-doubt, regret, or fear of making the wrong decision, which delayed your growth. Your current situation has its roots in a past chapter where you may have questioned yourself or ignored your inner voice or found it difficult to let go of guilt, regret, or old patterns. Judgment reversed suggests there was an opportunity for transformation or a fresh start, but fear or self-criticism or uncertainty may have kept you from fully embracing it. Those unresolved experiences are now resurfacing, not to punish you, but to give you another chance to heal and forgive yourself and to move forward with greater vision, okay? You're gaining clarity and seeing the truth, but the hardest part is leaving the past behind and trusting the journey ahead. You already have the power, skills, and resources to create a new reality. But past self-doubt, unresolved lessons, or difficulty releasing the past contributed to where you are now. But you're at a turning point, Virgo. The confusion is lifting and you have the inner ability to move forward. The remaining obstacle is releasing old judgments, especially those you hold against yourself. This reading suggests that growth comes not from becoming someone new, but from trusting who you already are and allowing the past to become a lesson rather than a burden. Your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, you got the Three of Cups. I embrace joyful opportunities is the message on the card. So this is an encouraging card. Spirit is saying that you're moving toward a period of joy, support, and meaningful connection after the challenges shown in the earlier cards here. So your immediate future brings reasons to celebrate. This card points to happy news, emotional support, reunions, or spending time with people who genuinely uplift you. After gaining clarity and working through the difficulty of letting go, you'll find yourself surrounded by positive energy and encouragement. This card is reminding you that you don't have to do everything alone, okay? Lean on your community, celebrate your progress, and allow yourself to experience joy without feeling guilty. A new chapter is opening, one filled with connection, healing, and shared happiness. Okay? You struggled with self-doubt or unfinished lessons in the past. But despite that, you've always had the power to change your circumstances. The confusion is clearing and you're seeing the truth. But your biggest obstacle is trusting yourself enough to leave the past behind. Your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon, what Spirit is saying here is you step into a season of celebration, supportive relationships, emotional healing, and positive experiences. You're transitioning out of a heavy phase. Once you embrace the necessary changes, the energy becomes much lighter. This card indicates that your efforts are likely to be met with encouragement, stronger connections, and moments that remind you life can be joyful again. And then your sixth card, you got the Hanged Man reversed, another major arcana. So this card represents the outcome you desire most in your situation. So you're hoping for you want to stop feeling stuck and finally move forward, okay? What you desire most is freedom from feeling suspended or held back. When the hangman comes out reversed, it's saying you're ready to stop waiting or overthinking or sacrificing your own needs. You want clarity, momentum, and the confidence to take action. Deep down, you're longing to release what's been keeping you in limbo and step into a new chapter where you feel empowered, decisive, and in control of your own path. The message on the card is, I can see this situation another way. Self-doubt or unresolved lessons in the past kept you from moving forward. You want to break free from stagnation and finally feel like life is moving again. You can expect very soon in your life, your immediate future, support, healing, and joyful connections. You don't want just change. You want release. You're tired of waiting for the right time or carrying the emotional weight of the past. This spread suggests that what you desire is already becoming possible. The clarity is here. The support is coming. And the next step is trusting yourself enough to act. And then your seventh card is the Emperor, Aries energy, major arcana again. A lot of major arcanas in your reading, so that's very good. I make empowered choices is the message on the card. This is your self-image card, how you see yourself. So you view yourself as someone who is strong, responsible, and determined to maintain control over their life. You see yourself as someone who is resilient, dependable, and capable of handling whatever life puts in front of you. The Emperor reflects your desire to create stability, structure, and security. Even when you're facing uncertainty, you want to be the person who stays composed and finds practical solutions. But at times, however, this can also mean feeling like you have to carry everything on your own, or believing you always need to have the answers. Your strength is real, but true leadership also means knowing when to trust, receive support, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. You see yourself as capable, disciplined, and in control, but you may also feel pressure to always be strong. Virgo, your inner strength is one of your greatest assets. You're stepping into a more empowered version of yourself. And the Emperor reminds you that real strength isn't just about maintaining control. It's also about having the confidence to embrace change, ask for support when needed, and lead your life with both wisdom and flexibility. Your 8th card represents your environment or how others see you and your situation, and you got the 4 of Pentacles. I trust that I am always safe and protected is the message on the card. So your environment or how others see you in your situation or how others perceive you, this revolves around stability, security, and holding on tightly to what feels safe. So your environment reflects a need for stability and protection. Others may see you as someone who is responsible, cautious, and in control of your resources, emotions, or energy. And while these qualities can be strengths, some people may also perceive you as guarded or hesitant to let others in. Those around you recognize your desire to protect what you've worked hard to build, but it also encourages you to consider whether holding on too tightly is preventing new opportunities, deeper connections, or personal growth. So this card reflects someone protecting their stability or maybe holding on to what feels familiar. This reading points to a transition. You're ready for a new chapter, both internally and externally. But there's a tendency to cling to certainty. This card is asking you, what are you protecting? And is it still serving you? Sometimes true security comes not from holding tighter, but from trusting yourself enough to loosen your grip and allow new possibilities to enter. And then your hopes and fears card is the King of Swords reversed. I trust my ability to make a strategic decision is the message on the card. So what you hope for and or fear the most in your situation, this card reveals an internal conflict. You want both clarity and control, yet you fear poor judgment, harsh communication, or losing confidence in your own decisions. Your greatest hope is to gain complete clarity and make wise, confident decisions. You want to trust your own mind and move forward without second-guessing yourself. But at the same time, your greatest fear is making the wrong choice, or being misunderstood, or encountering someone who is controlling, dishonest, or emotionally detached. And this card also reflects a fear of overthinking to the point where your own thoughts become your biggest obstacle. So the message here is to balance logic with intuition. Don't let fear or self-criticism drown out the inner wisdom you already possess. Okay? Deep down, you fear making the wrong decision or losing trust in your own judgment. Your biggest battle isn't a lack of ability, it's self-trust. Because the spread repeatedly shows that you've already had the clarity, strength. You already have the clarity, strength, and support needed to move forward. Your challenge is to stop letting fear of imperfection or overanalysis keep you from acting. These cards encourage thoughtful decisions, but also remind you that waiting for absolute certainty can become another form of staying stuck. And then your 10th card represents the outcome if all is to remain as is. And you got the Page of Swords. The message on the card is I take care of the detail and stay in control. So the outcome, and this is like your future message, more of a long-term future, not like your immediate future with the 5th card. So the Page of Swords as the outcome is a positive sign, okay? It doesn't promise that every challenge disappears, but it does show that you're stepping into a new mindset, one of curiosity, truth, and readiness to embrace new opportunities. So if the current energy continues, you'll enter a new chapter with a fresh perspective. Because the Page of Swords indicates mental clarity, new ideas, important conversations, and a strong desire to learn and grow. You'll become more confident in asking questions, seeking the truth, and making informed decisions rather than acting from fear. This card encourages you to stay open-minded because new information or an unexpected opportunity may change your path for the better. Be curious, speak your truth, and trust that every lesson is preparing you for what's next. You emerge with a renewed mindset, more aware, more curious, and more willing to pursue the truth. Rather than having all the answers, you'll have the confidence to keep learning, communicating honestly, and taking thoughtful action. So Virgo, this spread isn't about, where's my little crystal? Yeah. This spread isn't about instant transformation. It's about breaking free from old mental and emotional patterns. You're moving from confusion to clarity, from self-doubt to self-belief, and from feeling stuck to embracing new possibilities. The outcome suggests that your greatest victory isn't simply changing your circumstances, it's changing the way you think about yourself and your future. Once you trust your own wisdom and stop letting fear of making the wrong choice hold you back, you'll be ready to step confidently into the next chapter of your life. This is about releasing control, trusting the journey, and returning to your own inner wisdom. This is all about this shows a powerful transition from confusion and self-doubt into clarity, confidence, and alignment. Virgo, you're being called back to yourself. The path ahead is not about forcing, chasing, or proving your worth. It's about trusting the wisdom already within you. Okay? You've carried the weight of past doubts and tried to hold everything together, but your feminine energy blooms when you allow, receive, and surrender. Okay? Release what no longer belongs to you Your clarity is returning, your heart is healing, and you're stepping into a softer kind of power, one rooted in self-trust, intuition, and knowing that what is meant for you will meet you when you are aligned. Okay? So recap, you're moving away from illusion, confusion, and emotional heaviness. The feminine lesson is to not chase answers. It's to become still enough to hear them. That's these two cards here. You're the Seven of Cups reversed and the Six of Swords. Then we have the Magician with the Emperor. Spirit is saying that you're powerful, capable, and a creator of your reality. But the Divine Feminine reminds you that power does not always mean control. Sometimes power is trusting the flow. Okay? And then you have the Judgment with the King of Swords, reverse. Judgment reverse in the King of Swords. Spirit is telling you to release the inner critic. Stop replaying old mistakes or questioning every decision. Your intuition deserves a seat at the table alongside your logic. Okay. The Four of Pentacles with the Hanged Man. So the biggest block is holding on too tightly. The universe is asking you to loosen your grip and allow transformation. And then the Three of Cups with the Page of Swords is saying that joy, support, and new conversations and fresh perspectives are entering. Your next chapter begins with openness and curiosity. You do not need to force what is unfolding, Virgo. Your power is in your presence. Release the need to have every answer. Trust your inner knowing and allow yourself to receive the love, support, and opportunities that are already moving toward you. Okay? You're releasing the past, you're trusting your power, and you're stepping into clarity, self-worth, and divine alignment. Okay? You're moving away from confusion and old patterns, but the real shift comes from trusting your own wisdom and allowing life to unfold without needing to control every step. You're reclaiming your personal power. You're softening without losing strength. You're receiving without chasing. And you're choosing peace over past attachments. So that is your reading, Virgo. Thank you so much for letting me channel these messages today. I'm sending you lots of love and strength. Let me know how this goes, if it resonated at all. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.